Welcome to our videos on Online Market Research 101. Our second video covers the search engines to learn about the market and find your competitors. Now let's start doing some market research. And in a number of these videos, I'm going to use the example of golf balls that I used in the previous video. Personally speaking, this is a subject I'm not familiar with. I don't play golf and I don't have any dealings with the golf market, so I'll be approaching this market completely fresh, so to speak, so that you can see how I would do that. The first step, of course, is the easiest, and that's simply to do a search. You need to come up with what you think will be the most relevant keyword phrase. In this case, I thought the most relevant keyword for the golf ball market would be golf balls, or perhaps golf ball singular. Interestingly, that brings back many more results than did the plural, 22 million. And you see that it links to image results, and there are a lot of paid advertisements as well. Since I don't know this market, as I said, I would have made the assumption that if someone was looking to buy golf balls, they would type in the plural rather than the singular, but that's just a guess on my part, and you really do want to avoid guessing. So as we get into this research, hopefully details such as which is the most popular phrase, golf ball or golf balls, things like that will become a lot clearer, and that's important to know if you're going to move into the market. Now, a lot of market research is really just searching and writing down what you find. So you would search for the most relevant phrase, and you would start making a note of the paid advertisements on the top here, currently being displayed in yellow, although Google does change this from time to time, and the paid ads on the right. And you may want to keep clicking through to the next page, and the page after that, and so on. Alternatively, if you click on the More Sponsored Links, it should list all the advertisements together. Okay, so there's the number there. And the next page shows you some more there. You can make a list of those, all the sites selling golf balls. I should mention that obviously you're moving into the golf ball market because you're interested in selling golf balls online, because we think that's maybe a good idea, and that's what we want to determine. But as well as finding out your competition, such as this one here, Argos, fantastic deals at Argos, they're paying to sell golf balls. Again, besides those competing stores selling the same product, you may also want to pay attention to shopping comparison sites. For example, Shopzilla, The Price Grabber, and eBay Express. You may wish to spend some time on eBay, and we'll cover that too. Interestingly, you may want to look at other sites. For example, content sites and community sites such as this one, Chat on Golf, a premier golf discussion forum. Even though they may not be selling the product itself, sites like this are useful because they may be potential areas for you to advertise in. And they're also very good places to do market research. I'll go into this in more detail later, but let's say, for example, you can visit sites like that and see what are the most popular makes of golf balls, or what quantities of balls golfers usually buy, what stores they're likely to go to, and then, of course, you can visit those stores and see why they're so popular. This is all part of getting to know your market. So let's go back to the web, to the main search results. Image results aren't exactly relevant to what we're looking for here, so let's just scroll past those. Okay, here's the Wikipedia site on golf balls. We could perhaps read up on golf balls on the Wikipedia Online Encyclopedia if we really want to educate ourselves on the subject. Just keep in mind to take Wikipedia with a grain of salt because anyone can edit the pages, and there are many examples of amazingly inaccurate information, so tread lightly with that source. Golf Balls 101, Golf Balls and Brands Reviewed, and so on. I'm not asking you here to look at all 22 million results, but I do suggest you go through at least the first few pages. Actually, if we go back to the Google front page and click on Advanced Search, you can enter your phrase here, golf ball, and here you can add more results, 100 results per page, and search. And now you only need to keep to the front page and you have 100 results you can review all at one time, as you can see. So you can make a note of them, and it gives you a good starting point for research. You can see that it's very basic, but very important. It's all part of getting to know your market. For example, sites such as Golf Community or Golf Content, you want to spend time visiting them and perhaps make a habit of visiting them every day and spending perhaps 30 minutes a day reading the forums and reading the articles and just starting to understand the market you're considering leading into. Okay, let's just go through a quick example. Let's go to Golf Balls 101 and see exactly what they have to offer. There's some content on the left here, and the main brands are listed, and there's a shopping comparison aspect of the site, golf balls shopping, and even golf vacations, which is interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that. Or golf instruction, perhaps a way to potentially profit once you get the business up and running. Or you may even decide at some point that promoting golf vacations or golf instruction is a better business than golf balls. But that's something you need to research too, of course. It depends on how serious you are about moving into this area and growing this business into something substantial. But it would also be a good idea to purchase or subscribe to golf magazines. Or for any of those sites that have e-zines or email newsletters, whatever you wish to call them, let me look for something like that. Okay, after a bit of searching, I found a site, Golf Ball Reviews, and it says sign up below to be notified of new reviews. That's just one example of an email newsletter or an email update service you can sign up for, and I'm sure you'll find many more examples in all the sites you're searching. So this is the first very important step in starting to understand a market so you can decide if it's the right market for you to move into.